All right, we welcome back to the show Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama. Senator, let me go into two things. Number one, of course, the theme of this show is labor in America. And then you have this terrific list of your future vision, which I won't get through all of it. But on the labor front, I mean, you and I have talked about how Amazon was able to, keep unions out of their plan, 70% vote. The NLRB is now suggesting there should be a redo of that election, which doesn't make any sense to me at all. In general, the NLRB is stacked for unions. And as you know, sir, coming up in this reconciliation budget resolution bill, whatever's going to be in there, anything they do, they want to unionize, whether it's green energy or road building or highways. They want unions at the prevailing union wage. What is your thought here about labor in America? What's the difference between the union shops and the right-to-work non-union shops?
Well, we're a right-to-work state in Alabama, as 27 other states are, Larry. You know that, and there's a definite difference. Alabama, we have not only survived, we have really done well in the automobile industry of having 6 or 7 automobile manufacturers come to our state because we are a right-to-work state. We give people the right to choose, and that's the way it should be. As you said, this reconciliation, this budget resolution is getting ready to come up, and it'll be interesting. They're throwing the kitchen sink in there, Larry. Amnesty, Voting Rights Act, the PRO Act, everything will be in this bill. Now, the parliamentarians are going to have to decide whether it can fit into this, but we've got to do a heck of a recruiting job with some of our moderate Democrats. We cannot allow this to happen. Give the people of this country the right to choose whether they want to be in a union or not, because union is nothing but politics. Every time you hear President Biden speak, it's always about unions. And this $3.5 trillion or this $1.2 trillion bipartisan, so-called bipartisan infrastructure bill is really going to go to the unions. It's not going to go to people that actually have small businesses. It's going to go to the unions, and he'll tell you that.
What is wrong with worker freedom, basic worker freedom, and what is wrong with Workfare? I mean, I think Workfare beats welfare, or it used to, as an American tradition. But why is that changing now?
Well, this administration, like this $3.5 trillion, if you look at it, most of the $3.5 trillion is going to be about entitlements, about getting people not to work. Stay home, we'll take care of you, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. And it's about the Democratic Party turning into a socialist party and even a Marxist party of we'll control you, we'll tell you what you can do, what you can't do, we're going to give you some money. This country was built on the back of hard-working people. And if we don't remember that, and if we don't get back to that, we're not going to make it. I like a lot of things of what's going on in this country, but if we get away from the work ethic, which, I was a football coach forever, work ethic is what you learn in sports. The work ethic is what you learn as an American, and we're trying to destroy that.
Yeah, I love that. Our friend Newt Gingrich calls this big government socialism versus free enterprise capitalism. And he got ace pollster John McLaughlin to poll on this, and really 70 to 80% or more favor, get this, free enterprise capitalism over big government socialism. So there's a little hopeful note for you, Senator Tuberville.
Well, that's awesome, and it's awesome to hear that, because that's the only way we can survive, Larry, the way it is. I love what you say is, what is it, release the animal spirits of the U.S. economy.
Yes.
That's free market.
Yes.
And let the people control your country, because we can't improve our country unless we go back to work. This pandemic came at a tough time. Thank God you and the president and the tax cut bill that y'all had this economy roaring when the pandemic hit. Can you imagine this pandemic starting under Obama? The way our economy, we were out of work, we were paying high taxes, corporations were moving out of the country right and left. Can you imagine where we'd have been if that economy would have been in that point during this pandemic? We would have been, I don't know whether we could have got it back.
That brings me to your vision for America, which you've already sort of talked about. But right at the top, make the Trump tax cuts permanent. And then along with that, abolish the death tax and keep the longstanding step up in basis for the capital gains rule at death. Make the tax cuts permanent is something we all would have campaigned for if we had a chance. Now that's going down the drain, or at least it looks like it's going down the drain. Maybe you all can defeat it in the Senate. But keeping the tax cuts permanent would help this economy. It would give certainty. It would give confidence, it seems to me. People would take a swing at the ball knowing they would be rewarded for success, sir, not punished.
It wouldn't help the economy, Larry. It would save this country, is what it would do. The problem that we're having is President Biden has proposed 30 new taxes in this reconciliation bill coming up. Now, they might not use them all, but they got the 30 to choose from. The step up in basis, as you was talking about, would absolutely ruin small farmers across this country. And this country was built on small business, small manufacturing, and small farms. And we continue to raise taxes on these people. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. We cannot live with the tax rates that President Biden is getting ready to throw in this tax and spend bill.
You think you can whoop it, Senator? You think so?
I don't think that. I think we can. You know, we spent a lot of time with some of the moderate Democrats. We've talked to them. I think they're coming down to realization of you know, the country where we're at. You know, we talk about Afghanistan. We talk about the border. Those are all things that we, you know, it's just devastating. But Larry, the economy is what runs the United States of America, and we cannot run it in the ground. And if we do, we're going to deserve what we get. But we're not going to allow that to happen. The Republican Party and even some of the Democrats, I believe, will say we're not going to do it this way. We're not going to tax the American people. Let's put them back to work. Let's let them spend some of their money and get the free market going like President Trump and you had back a couple of years ago.
Well, Ronald Reagan, for whom I once worked, said, strong at home, strong abroad. And then, of course, President Trump said, America first. It'd be nice to restore those principles. Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, thank you, sir. Appreciate your time very, very much.
Thank you, Larry.